play a game. Can you guess which photo is Instagram and which photo is reality? In the late 90s and early 2000s, it became pretty widely known that photographs in magazines and advertisements were photoshopped. But back then, you could just close your magazine and move on. Today, with the advent of Facetune and similar cell phone apps, it's not just celebrities. Anyone has the ability to alter the brightness of their teeth, their skin tone and texture, and even the shape of their bodies before posting them online and passing them off as quote-unquote reality. Now, why are we talking about this? What's the big deal, you may ask? A 2015 study on body dissatisfaction in adolescents showed that when presented with an airbrushed image and asked to decide if it was original or digitally altered, more than half of the participants did not detect that it was manipulated. And of those who did, many were unable to identify which aspect had been changed. In other words, simply being aware that a lot of images are modified does not mean that we are any better at spotting them with the naked eye. And exposure to these images can lead to pressure to try and look that way, when more often than not, it's impossible to hold ourselves up to those standards. This is dangerous, and we spoke to a health media expert to explain why.
It's undeniable right now we live in a very image-driven society. But when people are kind of inundated with images of so-called perfection and these beauty standards that may be unrealistic, what this can do is spur up any symptoms of what we call body dysmorphic disorder. This condition is a debilitating mental health condition in some, and it can actually affect upwards of 2.9% of the population. Some people believe this is only a condition or a disorder found in women, but it also affects men as well. And a lot of the time, this mental health condition can go underdiagnosed or not even diagnosed at all, which is quite problematic. This is a mental health issue that affects so many. It's usually characterized by the perception of certain disfigurements to the body, and this obsession with a certain perceived disfigurement of the body leads to compulsions. It becomes a problem when it's affecting your day-to-day functioning. They may spend a lot of time in the mirror doing mirror checks or just avoiding mirrors at all because of some perceived imperfection. It may lead them to feel socially isolated and not want to even interact with anyone at all. Most likely, the age range that is going to be affected are those that are in their adolescent years and their young adult years. But that does not preclude older adults having to grapple or deal with the issue with BDD.
Now, many influencers have started speaking up on this issue, admitting that they've presented altered images in the past and are opening up the conversation.
I really don't always like the way that I look in photos, especially with stretch marks or cellulite. I've learned how to work my angles and manipulate lighting to hide certain imperfections. I use Facetune, much like most of you do, I'm sure. And I want to open up the floor to have this conversation because I think it's a really important one to have.
Some are even posting raw, totally unedited photos of themselves and breaking down how people on your Instagram feed may be manipulating their angles and lighting to get that quote-unquote perfect selfie. This is a huge breakthrough because a study from the National Institute on Media and the Family states that 78% of 17-year-old girls are unhappy with their bodies. That's a huge number. So what's our goal here? The more people there are on social media who bring awareness to this issue and who are transparent with one another, the healthier we can become both mentally and physically as a society.
Your social media identity does not equate to your actual real life identity. You're more than just those images that you put up. There's a real life that occurs behind those images. Try and focus on other things. Focus on your relationships with family, friends. Don't just let your life revolve around your social media platform of choice.
And so I will leave you with this. For whoever it is that needs to hear this, Health is not a size. You are so much more than just a body. And you are enough. Take care of yourselves.